Hey friends, Scotty here. Today is a long anticipated day, at least for me, 6.5 years looking at this date, the 23rd. We are here. I was not expecting to make a video today, but some information, I was reminded of some information today that was actually sort of discovered or thought about and written about back in August 2nd, close to almost a couple of months ago. A friend of mine, Brad, posted this on his website, Rev12daily at blogspot.com. And it says September 24th, a more perfect alignment. This is back in August. This is at the beginning of August. So this has nothing to do with, just trying to make something up because something didn't happen or whatever. This is just, my friends and I, we've been throwing out ideas and possibilities because 2017 lines up with so much. 1897, 1917, 1947, 1967, 1917. I mean, it's just really difficult to throw out these timelines that nobody has any control over. It's just history. And Rabbi Judah Ben Samuel's prophecy, which seems to have been perfectly making this the year zero as well. There's just so much that has to do with 2017. Plus, the world is in a state of complete disorder. Plus, we had the Great American Eclipse in August, and then a swath of hurricanes and earthquakes and natural disasters just started to happen immediately after that. I mean, this stuff is uncanny. You can't dismiss what has happened so far. We are still in a very high watch window. We're still in a high watch window today, as I'm making this anyway. But I just thought I would jump on here because regardless, I just really think I owe something to you for being so kind to me over the days, the weeks, the months, and the years. And so if I have some information, I just wanted to pass this on to you because I'm looking at this seriously. The deal is that the 24th might be a more perfect alignment. If we look at Brad's post here, he says the picture above is the view from Jerusalem in the morning of the 24th. This was first shown on unsealed.org. That's some other friends of ours, Gary and Jeff are over there. This was first shown on unsealed.org in a post which you can see here. Notice the crown of 12 stars. Everything is still in line. Notice the familiar position of the sun and Jupiter. All the elements of the Revelation 12 stars are still in place, essentially just as they were the day earlier on the 23rd. The only element that has noticeably moved is the moon. It has moved away from her feet, but now when it rises above the horizon, it is truly under the feet of the woman, just as described in Revelation 12:1. And a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars. And you know the rest of that if you've been following this. You see, I've been looking at the 23rd for 6.5 years. But I had the moon under her feet in a lying down position based on the ecliptic line. I don't have a problem with saying I've been wrong for 6.5 years. Matter of fact, in the last year, you know how much I've changed a lot of my thinking. All I want's the truth. I don't care about being right on this thing or that thing. I just want to find the truth, and I'm willing to throw anything out to get there. So the fact is that if the woman is in a standing position, a crown would be on her head if she's standing, not lying down necessarily, which is there. The moon is under her feet in this position. So Brad continues to write, again, on the 23rd, the moon is under her feet from our perspective, horizontally, but it happens when she's laying down on her side, as we see in most of the images of the alignment. But as shown above, she is now standing from our perspective with the moon under the bottoms of her feet. This is more literal, as we generally think of something being under our feet when we are in a vertical position. The September 23rd alignment surely fits, but this one seems like it could be even more literal. Now, I'm going to link this underneath my video so you can continue to read Brad's post. I'm not going to read this whole thing to you. But I also want to show you, this is unsealed.org. These are some of my friends. I love them dearly. They are brilliant writers and researchers, Gary and Jeff and Brad. I mean, we have been through thick and thin with this Revelation 12 sign thing together. And it's like we are corporately together, beat up by the mockers and scoffers constantly. And but we're doing a lot of work, and we're honestly, all four of us, we're trying. And there's more guys too, which I don't want to leave out, but it's just, there's a lot of people, including you, who know, you've learned from us how much lines up with 2017. And I just wanted to pass this on. These links are going to be below. You can read this. I am here to give you hope. There is another alternative. Now, how many days can you push the moon away from the woman? Eventually, it gets ridiculous. So, you know, I believe that the prophecy it says that the child is caught up to God and to his throne. When 1 and 2. That's in verse 5, but in verses 1 and 2. It seems like the action of 12:5 occurs when the setup of 1 and 2 are there. So, is it not possible to look at the setup of 1 and 2 with the moon under her feet as being the 24th as well? Now, the other thing I did, I don't think that's in these posts, but I also wanted to show you the numbers. You know that I do regard, I have some books on biblical numerics. The numbers make more sense too, because 23 in the Bible is the number of death. Does that actually work? No. And I've actually had a problem with that all this time. But the number 24 is the number of priesthood. Didn't Yeshua say that we would be kings and priests? Yes. And when John goes up to the throne room, what's there in Revelation 4:1? 24 elders. It's part of the throne room scene. And as I've showed you, the baby goes to the throne in Revelation 12:5. It's another picture of John going to the throne. And what's there in the room of the throne? 24 elders. It just seems to make more sense than 23 death. And I might have just sort of overlooked this. These guys didn't overlook it. They wrote posts on it. But, you know, I've got a lot that a lot on my plate and I'm looking at. And I think I'm going to admit I didn't look at this enough. But in the light of the time that we're in, I'm going to, you know, I'm going to keep this thing, keep this on watch. I'm going to keep this day on watch as well. Eventually it gets ridiculous because the sign starts pulling apart, and then you have to just kind of say, wow, that was weird. What was that? Why didn't any of that, you know, work the way it looked? So, you know, that day could be coming. However, the 24th, the moon is under her feet in a vertical position. It makes sense. And so does the number 24. 23 is death. 24 is priesthood. You guys have a great day. I just want to share that with you. The links are going to be below. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And one way or another, I will see you soon. Shalom, friends.